Hello Altos, my name is Jeff Rolka. I want to thank you for checking out my video. Altos, of all the Fox, I am of the opinion that yours has the most amazing potential, the most flexible of overall tessitura, and consequently, some of the most demanding requirements in terms of your precision and your ability to move throughout your registers. This is your comprehensive warm-up. I've been doing these for the Fox, and there's quite a bit here. There are at least a couple different exercises that I wouldn't expect all contraltos to be able to do. And they go into sort of areas that are not typically developed. That's all right. We're going to play them anyway and go where you can and leave off what you cannot. I'm going to start in the middle with some vowel alignment stuff and then move outwards from there. I've got a really fun pattern for those of you who are singing like the bass lines in a Sweet Adeline group, which is an a cappella ensemble. And you know, so many times those lines can just jump all over the place. I got a really fun exercise for that. I got a really cool new chordal exercise that does some unusual stuff to reflect the nature of many of the choral parts that altos are required to sing. In other words, a lot of chromaticism and sort of noodling around in semitone fashion. We're going to hit on the middle voice, the registration event that happens between the upper and lower middle voices, which can sometimes be a little tricky for the contralto vocalist. We're going to do some endurance work around the secondo passaggio. We're going to go over the secondo passaggio. We're going to go down. We're going to go up. We're all over the shop. I'm going to stop talking and start playing. Thank you if you've chosen to subscribe. I really appreciate it. There's loads of other ways to support my channel, and those are in the description. We. five note scale, but then it goes back up and down again. Easier to just show you. Me, 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 starting there. We're gonna now go up to and over the transition, the registration event between the middle voices, and into ah, and working a bit more legato into this. The next couple exercises are going to be geared more towards those contralto, alto vocalists who have like the low C that you would expect to sing in the Sweet Adelines ensemble for those singing the bass parts. If you don't quite have that range, there's still some good stuff to get out of here just in terms of narrowing and working on alignment as you go down towards that. So stick with it as best you can. We're going to start here me. Not really staccato, but not exactly legato either. Think kind of tenuto, right? And let it brighten. A couple more. Last one. I know that's quite low, but I have seen arrangements where they're asking the bass parts to do that A. There may have been even an A flat in the piece I'm thinking of, but in any case, the A natural is the lowest note I'm going to ask you to try to do in this next exercise. As I mentioned in the introduction, bass parts often skip all over the place. It's just because of the way things get harmonized, and the upper lines are typically, like the soprano will typically be the melody, the inner voices will have all these chromatic lines and things like that where you can also sometimes get stuck. But those bass parts, particularly in the sweet Adelines ensembles, can skip around a lot to reflect the chord changes. So this is a sort of skippy little exercise that I thought was kind of fun. There's a pause and a breath in the middle. It is kind of a long pattern. That's where we're going to start. So that's the key of C. Let's begin there. On E, in truth, you could do whatever vowel you like. If you're having problems making the two phrases, try it with the lip trill first to establish good phonation, and then try your vowels. E. And. Ready, and. Ready, and. Now let's move up. Taking a look at the secondo passaggio. We're going to begin in the key of B flat major. Ooh and E. I'm going to show you here. Each vowel goes to a note of the scale. We're going to go a little faster than that though. The goal here is to just allow the voice to go over the secondo passaggio and then come back. This first scale will only just get to the underside of it, and then we'll go over it from there. You're beginning here, ready, and. Right. One of my favorite exercises, the trill exercise. This is going to practice endurance right around the secondo passaggio. For most alto contralto voices, that's about where the secondo passaggio is. Keeping in mind that none of our voices, well, there's always going to be somebody out there, but most of our voices do not conform to Western tonal music, which is to say, we're not built to fit specifically on a key of the piano. It might be a little bit on the high side, it might be a little bit on the low side. Just in that general area of about there is usually where the secondo passaggio falls. For your Fach, bit of round robin in this too. I'm going to show you here. We'll go a little bit faster. Think long lines here. And this gets into some of that rarefied air that rarely gets developed in the alto voice, but we're going to do it anyways. This is going to go over the secondo passaggio, so for most alto range, alto Fock vocalists, the first several key areas are good to go. Beyond that, however, take it as it comes. Start with the lip trill to begin with. We're going to do the pentatonic scale. I'm going to show you here. You, however, will begin there. And Moving along with this exercise, it's better if we go a little faster. The idea here is to try to create the environment where the voice can operate in this tessitura. In other words, focus more on your engagement, the airflow, and trying to cultivate that sense of release. If you try to place these pitches, you will almost certainly at least be out of tune, if not much more than that. You have to try to have the intention of the pitch and create the environment to create it. Sounds a bit, I realize, kind of, out there, but in this area of the voice, which so rarely gets developed in the contralto vocalist, it's about having that aural sense of the pitch and letting the body do it for you. So we're going to go a little faster in order to facilitate that. And ah, beginning here. And O, starting there, and. Right, the Rossini scale. First starters, if you can do the super lip trill, this is about getting as much access to the widest range of your voice that we can. So we are in fact going to start here, which is doable for most contralto vocalists. We will ascend into that space that we were just in a moment ago, and we'll come back down. So, and. And ah. Here and. chordal exercise. Starting here on the third, 5 vowels, a couple of chords, sounds like this. So you have this 1, 6, 4, 4 major 7, minor 1 chord, back to the major 1 chord. First pitch. Ready? 2, 3, and. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, ready, 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 and. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, ready, and. 'There you go. Altos, I hope this helps. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for watching. Take really good care of your voices. Enjoy singing, and hopefully we'll see you again. Bye.